Welcome to the Pencil Bob channel. I hope you enjoy my stories.
The store always smelled faintly of burnt coffee and floor cleaner, and I'd gotten used to it. My shift started at 9, and by noon I was already drowning. 3 cashiers called out sick, which meant I was stuck covering half the front end. The line stretched past the candy racks, people sighing, shifting, glancing at their phones. I was exhausted. My back hurt from standing too long, and the headset crackled non-stop with calls from the floor. The only other cashier, a nervous guy named Milo, looked like he might pass out at any second. He was 20, skinny, with messy brown hair, and he kept tugging at his collar like he couldn't breathe. Behind the service desk stood Trina, the floor supervisor. She was in her 30s, tall and sharp with her words, but even she looked beaten down by the chaos. That's when she appeared. Karen. She marched in like she owned the place. Mid-50s, short blonde hair sprayed stiff, big sunglasses perched on her head even though it was cloudy outside. Her red blazer practically screamed for attention. She shoved her cart straight to my lane, ignoring the line completely. "Excuse me," I said, pointing to the line of people. She waved her hand like I was a fly. "I'm in a hurry. You can check me out now." The man next in line, an older guy in a baseball cap, muttered, "There's a line, lady." Karen turned on him with a glare that could melt glass. "Mind your business. I spend thousands here every year. They'll take me first." I felt my stomach tighten. "Ma'am, the line starts back there." Her voice rose. "Do you know who I am? I don't wait in lines." She tossed a pack of organic vitamins on the belt like it weighed 100 pounds. I glanced at Trina for backup. She gave me a look that said, "Just handle it." I scanned the vitamins. Karen immediately leaned in, squinting at the screen. "That's wrong," she snapped. "The price is what's in the system," I explained. "If you think it's tagged differently, I can call for a price check." She crossed her arms. "I know what the price is. It's supposed to be $7.99. You're charging $9.99. Fix it." I picked up the phone to call Milo for a price check, but she grabbed my wrist, not hard, but firm enough to make my skin crawl. "Don't you dare waste my time. Adjust it." The people in line started grumbling. A woman holding a toddler shook her head and whispered, "Unbelievable." I pulled my wrist back. "Ma'am, I can't just change prices. It has to be verified." Karen's voice cut through the store. "Incompetent, that's what you are, incompetent." I froze. My ears burned. The guy in the baseball cap stepped closer, glaring at her. "Lady, give it a rest. You're holding everyone up." Karen ignored him, eyes locked on me. "I bet you don't even know how to do basic math. People like you shouldn't have jobs like this." Her words hit harder than they should have. I forced my voice to stay even. "I'll get the price checked." Trina came over, looking tired. "What's the issue?" Karen jabbed a finger at me. "This one doesn't know what she's doing. I want the discount now, and I want it free for the hassle." Trina sighed. "I'll send Milo to check." Karen leaned closer to me, her perfume heavy and sour. "When I'm done here, you'll wish you never talked back." Something in her tone made the hair on my arms stand up. She wasn't just another rude customer. She was something worse. Milo jogged off toward the vitamin aisle. Karen drummed her nails on the counter, glaring at me the whole time. The line stretched even longer, people shifting restlessly, watching the scene unfold. The man with the toddler finally spoke up. "You're making it worse for everyone. Just let them check the price." Karen spun around. "Shut your mouth. Nobody asked you." The toddler started crying, wailing so loud even Karen blinked. For a second I thought she might calm down. But then she smirked, eyes narrowing on me again. "You'll regret this." The way she said it made my stomach twist. And just as Milo came running back with the tag in his hand, face pale, Karen leaned across the counter like she was ready to launch into something bigger. Something told me this wasn't even close to over. Milo held the price tag in his hand like it was a weapon. He was breathing hard, cheeks flushed. "It's $9.99, he said, voice cracking a little. Karen's mouth curled into a sneer. "Liar." Milo glanced at Trina, panicked. "It's on the shelf." I double-checked. Trina gave me a look that meant just get this over with. She turned to Karen. "Ma'am, the price is correct." Karen slammed her hand down on the counter, making the scanner beep. "You think I'm stupid. I know what I saw. You people are thieves." The baseball cap guy groaned. "Lady, pay the $10 and move on." Karen spun around, pointing her finger at him like she was casting a spell. "Shut up before I have you thrown out," he laughed. "Thrown out? You're not the boss here." Karen ignored him, turning back to me. "You're going to fix this, or I'll call corporate right now." I forced myself to keep my tone level. "The system shows the correct price. I can't change it." Her face reddened, blotches spreading across her neck. "I'm a loyal customer. I come here every week. You don't treat me like this. You're nothing but a checkout drone." That stung. My throat tightened, but I kept moving, bagging her vitamins and waiting for her to either pay or leave. She slapped her card on the counter. "Fine, but I want a receipt and the manager's full name." "Don't think this is over." Trina's jaw clenched. "Ma'am, my name is on the receipt. You'll have it." Karen leaned across the counter again, close enough that I could see the powder caked under her foundation. And yours, she hissed at me. I hesitated. It's on my badge, she squinted at it, lips curling. I'll remember that. You'll be lucky if you're still here tomorrow. I bagged her item as quickly as I could, hoping she'd finally leave. But then she noticed the man with the toddler still glaring at her. And you, she snapped, pointing at him, should learn to control your brat. The toddler, still sniffling, hid his face in his mother's shoulder. The mom's face darkened. Don't talk to my kid, Karen smirked. Maybe if you raised him properly he wouldn't cry in public like an animal. That did it. The mom took a step forward, eyes blazing. Say one more thing and see what happens. Trina quickly stepped between them. Enough, both of you. Stop, ma'am, you need to go. Karen puffed herself up like a balloon. Go? No, I'm not done shopping. And I expect an apology from her. She jabbed her finger toward me. The line behind her was practically boiling. People muttered under their breath. One teenager pulled out his phone, holding it up like he was recording. Karen saw the phone and screeched. You can't film me. That's illegal. The kid grinned. It's not illegal. Karen lunged for the phone, grabbing at the air. The teenager dodged, laughing. The crowd stirred, half angry, half entertained. I felt my stomach sink. This was spinning out of control. Trina's voice rose above the noise. Security? There was no security. Our store hadn't had any for months, but she shouted it anyway, maybe hoping it would scare Karen into backing down. Karen's laugh was sharp and cold. You think I'm scared? Call whoever you want. I'll have this whole place shut down. She whipped out her phone, dialing fast, muttering about lawyers and corporate. The man in the baseball cap muttered loud enough for everyone to hear. This woman's insane. Karen spun around. Say that again. He didn't back down. You're insane. Holding up a whole store over $2. Her hand shook as she pointed at him. I'll sue you. I'll sue this store. I'll sue everyone here. You'll all regret laughing at me. Nobody was laughing. The tension was thick enough to choke on. Trina leaned close to me. Go to the break room for a minute. Let me handle her. I wanted to run, but I couldn't move. I felt glued to the register, caught in Karen's glare. The teenager with the phone chuckled. You're gonna be famous, lady. Internet's gonna love you. Karen's scream ripped through the store. Delete it now. She swung her purse at the kid, narrowly missing his arm. The crowd gasped. Trina grabbed Karen's wrist. That's enough. Karen yanked free, panting, face red as a tomato. You're all against me. Every last one of you. You don't know who you're dealing with. And then she turned back to me. Her voice dropped to a whisper, but I heard it clear as day. I'll make sure you never work again. The words cut deeper than the yelling. I stared at her, wondering if she meant it. She smiled slow and mean, just, wait. And with that she pushed her cart aside, storming toward the exit. Her heels clacked against the tile, each step sounding like a warning. But halfway to the door she stopped, phone still pressed to her ear. She turned back, eyes locked on me, lips curling into a grin that made my skin crawl. Whatever she was planning, it wasn't over, not even close. Karen didn't leave. She lingered near the entrance, pacing, still on her phone. Her voice carried across the store, sharp and cutting. I'm at this dump of a store, she barked into the phone. Employees are harassing me. Yes, I want someone fired today. No excuses. Trina tried to get people moving again, but the damage was done. Everyone was staring at Karen. The teenager with the phone was still filming. Milo whispered to me, she's insane, she's actually insane. I forced myself to keep scanning items for the next customer, but my hands shook. Each beep of the scanner felt like it echoed too loud, like the whole store could hear my nerves. Karen suddenly marched back toward my lane, heels striking like gunshots on the tile. She shoved the cart out of the way and planted herself in front of me. You think you can ignore me, she said, her voice rising with every word. You think you can disrespect me and get away with it? I swallowed hard. Ma'am, I'm just doing my job. Your job? Your job is to serve me. To do what I say. She slammed her purse on the counter. I'm returning everything I bought here in the last month. Trina stepped closer. Ma'am, you can't return used products. You know that. Karen's laugh was jagged, broken. Watch me. She started pulling things from her purse, half-empty lotion bottles, a crumpled box of tea, even a pair of worn sandals. She dropped them on the counter one by one. The crowd behind her erupted in groans and mutters. The mom with the toddler shook her head. This is ridiculous. Karen ignored everyone. Refund me now, cash only. Trina's patience snapped. No, these aren't valid returns. Karen slapped the sandals onto the counter so hard the strap snapped. Do it, or I'll call the police for theft. The teenager with the phone laughed out loud. Lady, you're out of your mind. Karen's head snapped toward him. Delete that video or I'll sue your parents for millions. The kid smirked. Good luck. Karen shrieked and reached for his phone again. Trina blocked her firm hand against her shoulder. Enough, you need to leave now. Karen's face twisted. She turned back to me, fingers stabbing the air. This is your fault. You ruined my day. You ruined everything. I tried to stay calm, but my voice shook. I haven't done anything to you. She leaned in so close I could feel the heat of her breath. You're going to regret this for the rest of your miserable life. The store went silent. Every eye was on us, and then she exploded. Karen swept her arm across the counter, knocking everything to the floor: groceries, receipts, the card reader. Glass jars shattered, liquid pooling across the tiles. People gasped. Someone shouted, "Get her out of here!" The baseball cap guy stepped forward. "Lady, you need to leave before you get arrested." Karen spun on him, face wild. "Don't tell me what to do, I'll destroy this place." Trina grabbed the phone at the service desk and dialed. "I'm calling the cops," Karen screamed, a high-pitched sound that made my ears ring. "Call them, I'll tell them you assaulted me." The toddler started crying again, louder this time as his mom hurried toward the exit. People scattered, some retreating down aisles, others staying just to watch. Karen grabbed one of the broken jars from the floor, holding it up like she might throw it. My chest tightened. This had gone from bad to dangerous. "Put it down," Trina ordered, voice firm. Karen's eyes darted between us, between the crowd, between the teenager's phone still recording every second. Her chest heaved, breaths ragged. She dropped the jar, glass clinking against the tiles. For a second I thought it was over. Then she leaned across the counter again, eyes boring into mine. "You're finished." The way she said it, slow and deliberate, made my skin crawl. She snatched her purse and stormed toward the doors, shoving past customers, nearly knocking over an elderly woman. The glass doors swung open, slamming against the wall as she left. The store exhaled all at once, a collective sigh of relief. Trina hung up the phone, shaking her head. "Unbelievable," the baseball cap guy muttered. "She's gonna come back. People like that always come back." I wanted to believe he was wrong. But as I bent down to pick up the broken glass, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Unknown number. I didn't answer. Then a text popped up. "See you soon." My heart stopped. Karen had my number. I stared at the message on my phone, the words glowing on the screen. "See you soon." My stomach knotted. I hadn't given Karen my number. Somehow she'd found it. Trina noticed the look on my face. "What's wrong?" I showed her the phone. Her eyes widened. "How the hell did she get that?" Milo leaned over, pale as paper. "She's stalking you." Trina snatched the phone from my hand. "Save it. Don't delete anything. If she comes back, we'll have proof." But I could see it in her eyes. She wasn't sure corporate would care. The rest of the shift crawled. Every time the doors opened, I expected to see Karen marching in, eyes blazing, ready for another round. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Customers whispered about the scene, some laughing, some just unsettled. The teenager who filmed it came back to my register at the end of the night. "Yo," he said, grinning. "That video's blowing up." Posted it online. Already has like 1,000 views. My blood went cold. "You posted it?" "Yeah," he said. "People love it. She's a meme now." Trina pulled him aside, furious. "Delete it. Now," he shrugged. "Can't, too late." By closing time, the video had already spread. People in the parking lot whispered as they walked past me, phones in their hands. Some laughed. Others looked at me like I was part of the spectacle. I drove home in silence, every pair of headlights behind me making me glance in the mirror. I didn't sleep that night. Every sound outside my window felt like footsteps. The next morning I walked into the store and found Trina already at the service desk, phone pressed to her ear. She looked up, mouthing, "It's her." Karen's voice carried loud enough through the receiver for me to hear. "I want her gone. Fire her or I'll sue this whole place into the ground." Trina pinched the bridge of her nose. "Ma'am, you can't threaten employees, that's harassment." Karen's laugh was bitter. "Harassment? You haven't seen harassment yet. I'll camp outside if I have to." And she did. By lunchtime, Karen was in the parking lot, sitting in a shiny black SUV with tinted windows. She didn't come inside, but she made sure everyone saw her. At one point, she rolled down her window and shouted, "Smile for the camera, thief," before snapping a picture. Milo nearly dropped his register drawer when he saw her. "She's out there, just sitting, like a vulture." The customers started talking. A woman buying diapers leaned in close and whispered, "That's the lady from the video." "She's crazy." The video had gone viral overnight. People were commenting, dissecting every second. Some mocked her. Others defended her, saying retail workers deserved what they got. The weight of it pressed on me. I wanted to walk out, never come back. That evening, Trina pulled me into the break room. She looked exhausted. Corporate called. "They've seen the video. They want statements." I groaned. "So they think I did something wrong?" She shook her head. "They don't care. They just don't want a lawsuit." As if on cue, my phone buzzed again. Another message from an unknown number. "You think this is funny? Everyone's laughing at me. You'll pay for this." I showed Trina. Her jaw tightened. "That's it. I'm calling the police." The cops came. 2 officers in Navy uniforms. Officer Daniels, tall and broad-shouldered, asked me to explain everything. His partner, Officer Lewis, a shorter woman with sharp eyes, took notes. When I showed them the text, Daniels frowned. "This is harassment. We'll file a report. If she shows up again, call us immediately." Lewis added, "And don't respond to her. At all. She wants attention." I nodded, but my hands were still shaking. Karen wasn't finished. The next day, the store's phone rang nonstop. Customers complained about rude staff, about being attacked, about unsafe conditions. Trina checked the caller ID. Half the calls came from the same number. Karen was spamming the store. Then she took it further. A woman named Gloria, one of our regulars, stormed in with her phone in hand. "You see this?" she asked, shoving the screen in my face. "She's posting names and photos of employees online, says you're all thieves and bullies." My heart sank. There it was, my face, grainy from someone's phone camera, plastered online with captions calling me incompetent and cruel. Milo's too, even Trina's. Trina muttered under her breath. "She's gone completely unhinged." Customers started taking sides. Some defended us. Others came in angry, demanding refunds, quoting Karen's posts. The atmosphere in the store grew heavy, hostile. That night as I locked up, I saw Karen's SUV parked across the street. Engine running, headlights on. I froze, keys trembling in my hand. Daniel's words echoed in my head, "If she shows up again, call us." But before I could reach for my phone, the SUV revved and peeled out, tires screeching as it sped off into the dark. The sound stayed in my ears long after she was gone. This wasn't over, not even close, and deep down, I knew she was planning something bigger. Karen's crusade didn't die in the parking lot. It metastasized. Within hours of storming out of the store, she was hammering away on her phone, pounding out a venom-soaked Facebook post about how she had been abused, humiliated, and attacked by an incompetent retail drone and a manager who didn't know their place. She tagged local news outlets, city council members, even hinted at calling a lawyer. The thing was, she had screamed so loudly, so openly, that half the town already knew the truth. Videos from customers inside had spread across TikTok and Instagram like wildfire. By the time Karen hit post, she was already trending under the hashtag #RetailKarenMeltdown. She didn't know it yet, but her downfall was sealed. 2 days later, she was back at the store. Not to apologize. No, Karen showed up armed with printed copies of her rant, waving them like evidence in a courtroom. She marched to the counter, shoving papers in people's faces, declaring, "This store will be shut down, you'll all be jobless when I'm through with you." That's when it happened. A customer in line, an older man who'd witnessed her first tantrum, calmly stepped forward. He said nothing at first. He simply held up his phone and played the video. There she was, screaming, red-faced, spitting insults, tossing items on the counter, threatening lawsuits. Her voice, her gestures, her cruelty, all captured in brutal clarity. The line of customers went dead silent. Everyone turned to look at her. Karen froze. The color drained from her face, then surged back in a furious red. She tried to snatch the phone, but the man was faster. Another customer held up their own phone, same video, then another, and another. It was like the walls closed in on her, every angle exposing the monster she was. She shrieked, lunged, lost control. The papers she'd printed scattered like confetti. She slipped, maybe on the very flyer she'd made herself, and went down hard. A sickening crack echoed as she hit the edge of a metal display rack. Gasps filled the air. She twitched once, then went still. The phones kept recording. The paramedics came, but the story was already over. The video of her collapse was spliced onto the end of her meltdown, turning into the most viral clip of them all. I don't know how I felt in that moment. There was no joy, no sense of victory. Just a strange, hollow emptiness. She had tormented me, belittled me, tried to ruin me. And yet, watching her sprawled on the floor, silenced forever, felt more like staring at a storm that had finally burned itself out. The store went back to its usual rhythm within days. But I couldn't shake it. Every time the door chimed and a new customer walked in, I braced myself for another Karen, another meltdown, another disaster. But there would never be another Karen quite like her. Her reign ended in the most public, brutal, and humiliating way imaginable. And I was there to witness the rise, the chaos, and the final crash. Do you want me to now go back and expand each chapter to full length? Lots more dialogue, details, drama, until we hit full story length, or do you prefer keeping them this size and polishing the flow first?
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share.